You know how we're always told to eat superfoods like pomegranates and walnuts for our health? Well, what if I told you that for most of us, they might not be working the way we think they are? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty amazing paradox that's hidden deep inside our own bodies.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This is what we're calling the pomegranate paradox. We all have this list of healthy foods in our heads, right? But the real story, as you're about to see, is way more personal and honestly, a lot more surprising than you might think. So here's the real head scratcher. You and your friend could eat the exact same healthy diet, just packed with pomegranates, berries, nuts, all the good stuff, and yet you could get completely different benefits from it. How is that possible? Well, the answer isn't really in the food, it's in the person eating it. And here is the kicker. It turns out that only about 40% of people have what it takes to unlock the full power of these foods. Just think about that. It means for the majority of us, a staggering 60%, we're basically missing a key piece of our own biological puzzle. So what is this missing piece? Well, say hello to a little powerhouse compound called Urolithin A. And to really get what this is, we have to look past the usual vitamins and minerals and into the world of something called postbiotics. The key phrase to get here is postbiotic. It means that urolithin A, we'll just call it UA, isn't actually in the pomegranate you're eating. No, it's a special substance that's created by your gut bacteria after they get to work on the food you've eaten. And the raw materials your gut bacteria need to make UA are called allagitannins. And yeah, they're found in some of the healthiest and, let's be honest, most delicious foods out there. We're talking pomegranates, raspberries, strawberries, and even nuts like walnuts. And this brings us right back to that 40% number. See, it's a two-step process. Step 1, that's the easy part. You eat these foods. But step 2, that's where the magic either happens or it doesn't. If you just don't happen to have the right kinds of bacteria in your gut microbiome, your body simply can't make urolithin A. Doesn't matter how many walnuts you eat. Okay, so let's say your body can make it. What on earth does urolithin A actually do? Well, you can think of it as the manager of your body's cellular cleanup crew. It works at a microscopic level to keep all your tiny engines running smoothly. To get this, we have to do a quick refresh on mitochondria. Remember these from biology class? They are the tiny little power plants inside every single one of your cells, just churning out energy 24/7. The catch is, as we get older, these power plants naturally get less efficient. They start to wear down. And that's exactly where this process called mitophagy comes in. It's basically your cell's internal quality control system. It finds the old, broken down mitochondria and clears them out. It's like a sophisticated recycling program that scraps the old machinery to make room for new, high-efficiency models. So this is how UA pulls it all together. You eat the right foods, your gut bacteria, if they're the right kind, produce UA. That UA gets into your cells and basically flips the on switch for that mitophagy process. The faulty power plants get cleared out. And the result is that your cells get healthier and function better. And that, as we're about to see, has a huge impact on your muscles. Now, this all sounds great in theory, right? But does it actually work in real people? Well, let's look at the clinical proof. Because researchers have been putting this to the test, especially when it comes to age-related muscle decline. And we're not talking about a small, informal test. This was a serious study, a 4-month, randomized, placebo-controlled trial. That's the gold standard in medical research. It means nobody, not the participants or even the doctors, knew who was getting the real urolithin A and who was getting a sugar pill. This keeps the results totally unbiased. And you have to understand the stakes here are really high. The researchers themselves said it right at the start of their paper. Right now, we just don't have any good ways to fight the muscle decline that happens as we age. So finding anything that works would be a huge deal. So, what did they find? The first major result was a big one. After 4 months, the group taking 500 milligrams of UA saw a 12% improvement in their hamstring strength compared to the placebo group. I mean, that's not some tiny blip on a chart. That's a real, measurable increase in physical power. And the results for endurance? Just as impressive. The group on the higher dose was able to walk significantly farther in a 6-minute test. And we're not talking about a few extra steps here. This is an improvement large enough that doctors consider it clinically meaningful, meaning it can actually make a difference in someone's day-to-day life and mobility. What's really cool is that the benefits weren't just isolated to the muscles. The trial also found that UA significantly lowered levels of something called C-reactive protein, or CRP. This is a major marker for inflammation throughout the entire body, and high levels are linked to aging and all sorts of chronic diseases. So let's just recap what we're seeing here. When you put it all together, the evidence from this one trial is pretty compelling. We're seeing stronger muscles, better walking endurance, improved aerobic capacity, and less body-wide inflammation. These are really powerful, wide-ranging results. All right, so what's the big picture here? What does all this research really mean for the future of muscle health? And more importantly, what could it mean for you? Well, it pretty much opens up a whole new way of thinking about how we can support our bodies as they age. So let's just boil it all down. First, urolithin A is this special thing called a postbiotic that your own gut has to create. Second, it works by kicking your cell's internal recycling program into high gear. Third, solid human trials show it can actually improve muscle strength and endurance. And fourth, this gives us a totally new nutritional strategy to help fight back against age-related muscle decline. And here is maybe the most incredible part of this whole thing. The people in the study, they got stronger and improved their endurance without changing their exercise routines at all. This really highlights a strategy that works from the inside out by fundamentally making our cells healthier. Which really just leaves us with this one huge, kind of mind-blowing question. As we learn more about compounds like urolithin A, it really seems like the future of health isn't just about what we eat, but about how our own unique internal world, or gut, is able to transform that food.